I'd say I'd probably refer to the Bali experience as my first ever most eye-opening sexual experience, but like it definitely didn't start out that way. So um, my friend and I were on holiday in Bali and she'd actually never been before. And so we had a rule where basically if like one of us, because we were in a hotel room together, and it's like one of us wanted to hook up and it's like, cool, well then the other one also has to find somewhere to go. And she'd never been, so, you know, the people pleaser in me was like, hey, that's fine. Like you take the hotel room, like I'll find somewhere else to go.
I'll go sleep on the street. It's fine.
Honestly. Well, I was sleeping in the fucking bathtub. No, so we were on a night out and we're at this club in Bali, La Favela, I believe it was called. And I think we were standing in the smoking area and like I smoked a fair bit in Bali because cigarettes, like, you get like honey flavored ones, they're like $7. And so we're just standing in the smoking area and, you know, my friend's already got a man that she's been with a couple of times after on holiday and, you know, he's out with us and they're probably going to go home together again. And I'm like, all right, let's find me a man. And so we're in the smoking area and she's playing wing woman. She's like, oh, is there anyone here you see? And yeah, for whatever reason, like I had the confidence to approach someone else, but like it's often so much more fun sometimes, like when your friend just goes and does it for you. And I look at her and I'm like, okay, like see that guy over there, the one in the black shirt. I'm like, that one, like he's really cute. Bring him over here. And so she brings this guy over in a black shirt, but it's the wrong guy.
Yeah, this is why you do it yourself, woman. Like people make mistakes.
It's the wrong guy. And so she brings him over and me being me, you know, like a few Bali bintangs down, all the confidence in the world. And I just look at him and I'm like, no, not that guy.
So embracing the full autistic honesty. Yeah, yeah.
And then this guy just looks at me. And at the time, like I had no idea who he was. And he just looks at me and he's like, oh, which guy? And I point out the other guy in the black shirt. I'm like, you know, that one over there. And he just looks at me and he goes, oh, that's my friend. He's actually gay. And I was like...
And full disclosure, he was not gay.
No, he didn't even know the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his friend. But I believed him. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I don't know, I can't remember if I turned to him and said, like, do you have anyone else? Or he just goes like, oh, like I'll introduce you to one of my friends. And I was like, okay. And so he walks me over to this guy and don't get me wrong, like he's tall, dark and handsome, like just very mysterious looking. And I'm like, oh, there's like something here. And I go and stand next to him and I introduce myself and he literally says like maybe 2 words to me. And as you can tell, I'm quite the conversationalist.
Yeah, I know that.
And so, yeah, so I'm trying to talk to him and I'm just like not really getting anything back. And I was like, okay, like awesome. Like, it's been nice to meet you. And I fucked off and went and hung with my friend. And so I'm like at the club and I'm still, you know, how do you say it? Like on the hunt and I'm just like looking around. I'm like... looking around like, oh, is there anyone, like any men? And it was getting close to closing time. And I remember checking my watch. I'm like, fuck, 2:45. I'm like, I have 15 minutes, like 15 minutes to find someone.
Do you not just at that point just start waving at all the guys?
It's like, hey, take me home with you. Yeah. I need someone to sleep tonight. Yeah. I guess I like to have that like element of control.
They got to approach me too.
Yeah. So I just take myself back out to the smoking area and I lit up my cigarette and I'm leaning against the fence and I'm just like smoking and I'm just doing like these little sideways glances and the guy, like the friend that I got introduced to, like comes back over and stands on one side of me and I was like, oh, hey, it's like you again. And he just says hi and again, like not very many words. And then I have another man come and stand on the other side of me. And he introduced him as his friend. And he's like, this is my friend, like so-and-so. And I was like, okay, like, cool. And so he's like, oh, like, how's your night going? I was like, yeah, like, not bad. And then just out of nowhere, just drops there. So have you ever had a threesome before? And
Do you know what's funny? It's like one of my coaching clients is literally trying to have threesomes at the moment, and he's just doing the same thing. Like not with two guys, but with two girls. He's just going up to pairs of girls and going like, "Hey, have you guys ever had a threesome?" Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like, well, fucking ask for what you want.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, because I've been drinking, I'm like cocky ass, and I'm like, yeah, I've had heaps.
I've had a bit more threesome.
I've had heaps of threesomes. Like, fucking throw me something more interesting. And so they both like kind of look at me, and I'm like looking at them again, like neither, like not very much is coming from either one of their mouths, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, fuck, like, are you gonna say something?
They're waiting for you to like lead the threesome.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so he just turns to me and he's like, okay, like, what about an orgy? And I kind of looked at him and I look at my watch and I'm like, 2:55 a.m. I'm like, I've got 5 minutes. I'm like, this is going to be my best option. This is going to be my best option of a place to stay. So we're going to roll with it. And I was just like, oh, no, I've never had one of those. Like, fuck it, why not? Let's go. And so we go back to their villa. And I don't know whether to drop this nugget now. It turns out the first man that I spoke to was actually like a sex and dating coach, and the other guy he introduced me to was his business partner. And then the third man that came and stood next to me was one of their students. They were doing a world tour, and they take their students on nights out to the club and like, you know,
and give them an orgy.
guide them on how to pick up women. And yeah, so we're going into their villa and still like not much conversation is happening. I didn't know who they were at this point, and I'm like, fucking hell, like what have I got myself into? Like I'm gonna have to lead this whole thing. These guys are so awkward. They're like not confident, not saying a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this sounds exhausting. And then we go into the bedroom in this villa, a beautiful private villa in Bali. And I just remember one of them just very gently laying me down on the bed. And I was sort of laying there like tossing up my head. It was like, okay, like what move am I going to make first? Like how do I have
to lead this thing?
Yeah, I'm like, how am I going to make this happen?
How a woman's body works, yeah.
They're not saying anything.
Yeah.
And then one of them just like grabs something from the bedside table, and it's a jar of coconut oil. I feel like I left that out when I told you this, but brings out this jar of coconut oil and just like lays me down, and both of them like really gently just start like using this coconut oil and massaging me, and just like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like so like sensual and soft and like appreciative, and just the way that they both like looked at me and just like gently like taking my clothes off. And it was like I was this fucking goddess just laying on this bed with these two men that are like, we are gonna treat you like an absolute fucking queen right now. And I was laying there, I was like, fuck, I was like, these men haven't said like more than maybe 3 words to me, and now they're like worshipping me in a way.
Like such a different experience from what you had in the club, where they're kind of awkward and just not saying anything, and you're like, oh god, do I have to do everything?
And I'm like, there's me. I go in the bedroom full ready. I'm like, right, that's it. I'm gonna take the lead on this. Like, I'm gonna tell them what to do, and just
they just lock in. They're like, all right, let's fucking do this thing. Yeah.
Like when we walk through that door, it's just complete like script flip, and just to be laying it and to be. It was the first time in my life that I'd ever have a man like take me into a bedroom, especially after a night out as well, and just like treat me in that way, and just like the most beautiful touch. And this experience as well was like the first time I was like, I don't know the word. It's like the first time I've ever like squirted as intensely as I did. Oh, yeah. And just to have, it was like one of them was like be working on me, and the other one's just providing all this encouragement. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this is what I've been missing out on for, I don't even know how old I would have been at this point, like maybe 25 or something.
Because your experiences up until that point hadn't, from what you've said, been like
no. Like, and obviously I realized, or didn't realize it at the time, that I could sort of, you know, speak up and give guidance and things like that. I was quite shy. But yeah, to just be in this, and I was like, whoa, it's like men are capable of like doing this in the
I was going to
bedroom.
say men are capable of like giving a shit about.
Yeah, like men actually,
man
I'm
will
like, there's
care.
men who actually care. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and I also didn't need to do anything in that moment other than just be. And I guess like, yeah, that was a whole experience within itself as well. It was like, I didn't need to do things and like work for things and like earn like their love, I guess let's call it. Yeah, so it was just like so amazing, so beautiful. And so it was the three of us, and then we took a break and like went out to the pool, and lo and behold, the very first guy that I spoke to that I turned down rocked up, like just came in through the gate, and I was like, hang on, like, why are you here? And that's when it all came out. It's like, oh, you know, like this is actually my business partner, and this other guy's like one of our students. And I was just sitting there like, what the fuck? I was like, how did I end up like here? Yeah. And then after we went for a swim, I remember like I got up and I went to the bar. This is how I recall it. Like I'd obviously had quite a lot to drink.
And there was a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot going on as well. But I remember like going to the bathroom, and when I came out of the bathroom, like the original guy that I spoke to that I turned down was there in the room, and I remember looking at him being like, oh, like I don't know why you're following me in here. Like I don't want to have sex with you. Like still sticking to my like, nah, like I turned you down. It's a no. And I just remember he had this look in his eyes, and it's like, it almost became like a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a challenge in the sense that he then responded and was like, oh, like, that's not why I'm in here. Like, I don't want to fuck you. And so, of course, my ego is like,
Why don't you want to fuck me?
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Why not? And yeah, and I guess like the story unfolds in the sense that then it was like me and him in the bedroom, and then the other two guys also came and joined, and it was I didn't have to put in a single ounce of work. Like if you told a woman that, okay, you're going to be in a bedroom with like three guys, like if you told past me before this experience, I'd be like, fuck no, that sounds like way too much effort. I can't do it.
Almost like you would have to perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of dicks to suck. I'm like,
Eloquently put. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like absolutely mind blowing. I remember sort of going back to my room the next day and then seeing my friend and just sort of sitting there and being like, so like I had this experience. I was like, I think I had a foursome. And she just looked, she's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's me and three men. I was like, you know that man that I said I didn't want and I turned him down? I was like, yeah. I was like, he ended up there. I was like, so it was just me and the three of them in bed together. And she was sort of looking at me. I was like, anyway, I think I'm going to get a tattoo to like commemorate it. I was like, I've never had a foursome before. I was like, it's one to tick off the bucket list, right? I was like, in Bali as well. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go and get a tattoo. And I'm going to share it with everyone. I need to make sure I'm on camera.
Yeah. Yep.
So I got like, I'll show it first. It's just on my side here. Yeah, it's like a little hand with
Doing that.
four fingers to commemorate like my first and only foursome that happened in Bali. And I remember, I think my mum saw it when I got home, and I was just like, oh, my friend and I, we met these two other girls, and we were like the awesome hanging out together by the pool.
You didn't tell your mum? You didn't say, I got fucking worshipped and railed, mum. Like, it was amazing.
She knows a little bit more now because I ended up, the original guy that I turned down, he was from Sydney. And so he came back to Sydney and we spent like ample more time together, and I had ample more experiences, very
You guys
juicy
almost,
ones.
like, dated, I guess, like casually.
Yeah, we were lockdown fuck buddies because it was like mid-COVID and we couldn't like see anyone, but if you had a lockdown partner, so that's what we, I guess, were together. Yeah, and so I was a little bit more open. I remember, like, I did tell mum, I was like, oh yeah, like he's a sex coach, and mum's like, oh, what was her comment? think she's like, oh, perhaps he can give your dad some tips.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
like,
I thought you were going to say, perhaps I can have him around when you're done with him. Like,
no,
he can
no,
come
no,
over.
no. But yeah, she did make a funny comment. Mum and I have quite a, I'd say like very close relationship now. When I was younger, I hid a lot from her, as you do when you're a teenager. But
you said she was always pretty chill with like sex and stuff. Like she'd never make you feel shame, and she'd
no,
give
not
you,
at
like,
all.
sex talks and stuff.
No,
Yeah.
I grew up in a household where sex was like never shamed. Like I knew what it was from a very young age. When I had brat stoles and stuff, I'd like, if I can scissor them and put them in bed together, and like I knew how it worked.
Put the bits in each other. Yeah.
But yeah, back then it was like they're gonna make a baby, and like that's what they were gonna do.
Well, like, look, I don't want to, but two female scissors is not how you make a baby.
No, I had male brat stoles.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Well, I want to inform. I don't want to put any.
No. I know. You know what? I know their
information
names now. I had Chloe was the blonde, and then Dylan was her boyfriend.
Did they even
I
have
hate
dicks?
that I
Don't the
still know
dolls just
that.
not have a?
No, they're just flat surfaces. So they essentially, it's
Yeah.
like dry humping, basically.
Yeah.
It's-
Well. Yeah.
yeah.
we don't wanna
On
shame anyone
par
for
with dry
size,
humping. Anyway, I'd put them in like this plastic bed and put the blanket over them. So yeah, so I from a young age, I just knew what it was. Like it was always, not think always, but just something that was like spoken about in our family if anyone asked questions. It was never made out to be like weird or wrong. And then from the age of like 16, when I had my first boyfriend, I remember my mum like having the talk with me, and she's like, look, honey, I was like, I know what you're gonna do. I was your age once.
I know what you sick little freaks are gonna do to each other. You're gonna hold hands, you sickos.
Gross.
You're gonna touch each other on the face.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And yeah, she always said, like, I know what teenagers get up to. Like I was one once, and I'd much prefer knowing that you're safe and you're upstairs and you're in your room and I know where you are than be doing it on a park bench. And so obviously I did both. Safe in my room, and have had ample park bench experiences in my youth. Yeah, but definitely like I never felt any shame around it in my home. There were periods in high school where, and like it's not just me that experienced this, but the word slut would often be thrown around.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So I guess like in high school, like a little bit, it's like if you ever did anything with a man, it's like you really didn't want anyone to find out because people would just talk shit about you. But no, besides that, I've always been someone that's like fairly like confident and comfortable around sex. I used to read the sealed section of like the Cosmopolitan magazines in year 9. I took it to year 9 camp in the tent with the church girls, and I think I was like teaching them what it meant to get fingered by someone by reading the pages of this magazine. I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, so the man, like, he does this and puts the fingers inside, and that's fucking, what is it, like second base or whatever that is. That and the time at like lunch, I want to say, well, it's probably like year 11, maybe 17 or 18 by this point, 17. And I'd stumbled across a 12-page blog online somewhere about how to give a man a blowjob. And it was just like your average dude was like, essentially wrote like, it's not how it looks in porn, and there's so much more to consider. And he'd written like fucking 12 pages of it. I've never found it since the day that I read it. But I remember like staying up late, reading all this information, and then going into school and like telling my girlfriends about it. And I don't know if you ever remember like Impulse cans, like the deodorant spray. It's like
sure, yeah.
the thin like can of deodorant.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys,
Don't tell me
here.
you practiced on
No,
that.
I was like, here. I was like, let me show you. And I like whipped it out. And I'm like, okay. I was like, this is like the head of the penis. This is the like the base of it that's like, and the balls are here. And these are the different sensitive spots that, different men have different sensitive
Little
spots.
Miss
So
fucking
it's like,
expert here. You're
try
like, I've read
this, try
books
this.
on this. Yeah.
I'm like, try this part. And it was actually a running joke that one of my friends, her partner, like proposed to her because she was so good at giving a head. And I'm like, oh, you're
That
welcome.
was me. Like, yeah. You get like front lane seats to the wedding. Yeah.
So, yeah, in that sense, just always like open, curious, never felt ashamed of that side of myself. Like, to me, it was just normal. Like, it was who I was. And the friends that I had at the time, like, none of them ever, like, there was just no judgment between any of us at all. And, like, shout out to that group of friends. You know who you are. Like, beautiful, beautiful humans.
I think this is a good talking point because a lot of my like male coaching client, like male clients, male audience, like they know they're sexual beings, but a lot of them have this story that like women could never like sex. Like, what woman would like sex? Sex is just for the man, and the woman rolls over and puts up with it so she can get a relationship. So I always find it cool when people believe that, or find it funny when people believe that. And it's like, do you want to definitively say that you like sex?
I fucking love it.
Yeah, right? Like,
love it. Like
there's so much shame and guilt around it.
Like,
and I get why, like, not every woman feels that way, obviously. Just like not every guy is comfortable with his sexuality. But, like, yeah, it doesn't mean that every single person is shy and shameful about it. Although, segue into, like, the spiritual, like,
sex and shame.
Because shame and guilt came into your life. And it did for me, too. My journey was very similar to yours. Mine had more shame at the start. Then I went into my, like, hoe phase.
Yeah.
And then shame came when I started getting more into spirituality, and it did for you too.
Yeah, 100%. So as I spoke into before, like growing up, didn't have any shame around sex at all, like felt very comfortable for the most part. And a couple of years ago, I guess let's say went through my dark night of the soul period, a moment. I used to drink heavily, was heavily into drugs, battled with like, you know, my fair share of mental health experiences, and had this moment where I like woke up one day, I think I was like day 3 of the hangover, hadn't left my room, just felt like I wanted to die. And I remember saying to myself, I'm like, we can't keep fucking doing this. Like, we can't keep living like this. Like, something has to change. And I, like, from that day, I committed to doing 6 months no alcohol. And about 3 or 4 weeks into my experience of that, I then discovered breathwork, and I worked with a breathwork facilitator for the very first time. And it was like mind-blowing. I just want to drop this nugget in for anyone who hasn't tried breathwork before. Like, it will fucking change your life. And I had this experience and this awakening, and I literally like experienced myself as a light being. And I remember coming out of it and I'm like, fuck. Oh my God, like am I spiritual? Am I spiritual now?
What does that word even mean? Am I fucking spiritual? Yeah.
Am I awakened? I'm like, oh man.
I must be enlightened. Holy shit. Like,
actually things outside of myself, and they exist, and I felt it. And yeah, it was wild. As someone who grew up like pretty fucking atheist and didn't believe in God or anything like that growing up, to then have this experience and be like, fuck, well, that's it. I'm spiritual now. And I'd had this awakening with alcohol and obviously drinking so much, and it wasn't, I guess, like one of the greatest choices in my life, and it led to me feeling pretty shit a lot of the time. But then when I started doing the inner work and I became spiritual and I started doing more breath work and wearing all the crystals and putting the flowy clothes on, because yes, I did all of that.
You became a proper hippie.
I literally I had a day with my friend who went through my room and my wardrobe, and I threw out my slut clothes, as I called them. So it's like, you know, I'd been sexually open. I'd been a, like, I'm going to use the word like slut, and, you know, I coin it now. For me, it's quite empowering. But back then, like when I was going through my spiritual awakening, it was like, no, I don't want to be a slut anymore. Like, that's bad.
I'm better than those sluts. Was it almost a sense of that, like judgment?
Yeah. And like, I'm so wholesome, and my womb is sacred, and it is. Like, fucking love my womb. But it's like, like the pendulum swung from like one end. I can't even get my hand on the camera here. From one end all the way to the other side.
Yeah.
So I went from like being a slut to then like, no, that's it. I'm so spiritual. Like, my body's sacred. I can't
never
have
having sex again.
No, I can't have sex anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck one night stands. Like, no, that's it. I'm going to close up shop, and I'm only going to have sex again with the man who's the one that I'm going to marry. because like that's sacred and like that's how it should be. And now that I'm spiritual, like I need to be that way. And so I ended up being celibate for a year. Like, so I'd gone from like sleeping around a lot, like going out, bringing men home, to, yeah, just like, that's it. I'm not going to have sex for a year. I don't even think I masturbated for like a couple of months of that as well.
That's so
crazy.
funny because like I went through the same thing where I wouldn't say that I like stopped having sex, but I had a lot of judgment around it, and I was like, is this bad? Is me having sex bad? Like, and then it was maybe talk about what you went through, like coming out the other side of that. How did you start coming out the other side of that to have maybe more of a balanced, I guess you'd say, view?
Well, it's interesting. I'm just gonna like expand on the part where you're like, oh, sex is bad, and I felt the same way. So it went from sex is bad to no, sex isn't bad, but the way that I was having sex is bad.
Yeah, the intention.
Like, or like the way that I wanted to be treated by men in the bedroom. Like, you know, it's wrong if you want a man to throw you around. Like, that's wrong.
Interesting. Yeah. Like it can only be in a very particular wholesome way.
Like it should be like loving and gentle, and you should want them to be soft and nurturing. And that's not saying that part of me didn't want that. I'm like, that's beautiful in its own way. And sometimes that's what my body desires. But it's like I pushed down and like push aside the part of me that how am I gonna put it? Like just wanted to get fucking railed.
You judge the like animalistic urge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You judge the sexual being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's like men should just treat you like nicely and gently and softly in the bedroom. And if you want anything else, like that's wrong and you should want better for yourself. That's, I think, how I felt internally. It's like, you should want better. It's like, okay. And then, so yeah, after about a year of being celibate, like I connected with a beautiful man and was intimate for the first time. And it was I guess like nice and nurturing and caring in the sense that, you know, he was considerate and asked what I wanted. But then after like a couple of like times spending time together, I opened up about the fact that like I actually had toys, and I'm like, hey, like I want to explore this. And you know, he opened up and was like, oh, like thank you for asking. Like I've thought about it, and that's actually not something I want to do. And like full respect to him for owning that. But it gave me the realization of like, oh, okay, if he doesn't want that, like I probably shouldn't want it either. Like
interesting. Yeah, like you were judging it as bad.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, that's right. Like it's, you know, I shouldn't be thinking like this, and I shouldn't want to explore in this way, and I should just be okay with men being like soft and gentle and nurturing.
I went through something similar myself because I'm obviously into BDSM, I'm into kink, like you know all this, and like for a while I judged it too, or at least had questions about it, and I was like, is this bad? If I'm being rough, isn't that like, I've had people say like that's abuse, and I thought about that, and I'm so grateful for the people that said to me, like, that's abusive, you're a bad person. Like, I got quite a lot of judgment for it, and I'm so fucking grateful for that, because that made me take a step back and say, who do I want to be? What presence do I want to bring into the bedroom and, like, outside the bedroom as well? And what I settled on was I want to be a loving presence that adds to people's lives. And you can absolutely do toys and kink and BDSM and sex in general while doing that. And it sounds like you in the past, and me in the past too, we were just having like what I call indiscriminate sex, where you're just having sex because it's fun. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, you're not going in with the attention of like, I want this to be good for me, or at least make that attempt. And I want it to be good for the other person or people. And if we're both going in there trying to make each other better, or like we have a good experience together, or we give each other lots of praise, or we like any of that, you can do all the kinky rough sex and make each other feel amazing. And afterwards be like, thanks for that. That was amazing. I have reverence for your body. Like all the stuff that you're saying you like. And so, yeah, I think for me, it was switching it up in my head and saying like, how can I add to the lives of the people that I sleep with? And even just the people that I date and talk to and be friends with. That's what really like clicked it in my head.
Yeah. I think that's such a beautiful way to look at it. And when I think back to my experience as well, so I can sit here and be like, yeah, I had absolutely mind-blowing orgasms and thoroughly enjoyed myself. I would say there's also like a lack of like love.
You're talking about the first, like the early
Yeah,
sexual
the like the
experiences,
Bali experience and the
Me
men I
too. There
connected
was
with
like
through
no
that.
love in what I was doing. Like,
Yeah.
love for myself, love for the act of sex, love for the other person. No, I was just trying to fucking come.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
But,
phrase it other than that. I
yeah,
was like a horny dog that just wanted to get it in. And like,
I can
there was
relate.
never any thought of like, are we both going to be better off after this? And sometimes you would go into experiences kind of knowing that the answer was probably not. Like I had a lot of sex with people that I was attracted enough that I could get it up, but like it was pretty clear it was going to be a one-time thing. And it was just like, I want to get another notch in the belt, or I'm horny tonight and I don't want to be lonely jerking off. And so there were lots of experiences I had where it's like, I know this isn't going anywhere. I know I'm not afterwards going to be glad that we did this, but fuck it. And you get drunk, you have a little bit and you just go into it, you do the deed and then you leave and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like that for me, like indiscriminate sex.
Yeah. Oh, I've had fucking ample of those experiences where you're like going into it and you're like, oh,
are you going to be happy with this in the morning? Yeah.
Probably shouldn't, but like, fuck it, we're here now. Like, may as well. Yeah. And then the next day it's like.
And part of that from what you've told me is boundaries too. Like you weren't always the best at saying, no, I don't think I want this tonight, or I don't think I want this in general. You would just be like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to be annoying.
Yeah. It's like, well, once I've sort of said yes, it's like, that's it. I have to follow through because I couldn't possibly like let the other person down.
While you talk, keep talking. I'm going to show you something on the screen.
Okay. Beautiful. For me as well, often like as a woman, like I'd had experience. So there'd been a lot of experiences in my life where I didn't need to say no because I was fully like consenting. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I want to do this. But other times, like I would say no, and it was just seen as, I guess, like a challenge or like an obstacle. It's like my no was an obstacle to overcome. It's like
so many guys look at a woman's no as like, she's being annoying. God, why? Like, annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the lack of safety around this came from my very first relationship when I was 17. And my partner at the time, like I remember the first time I was like, oh, like, I don't really feel like having sex tonight. And he just looked at me and was like, well, don't you love me? Like, what do you mean?
If you loved me, you'd do what I want.
If you loved me, you'd have sex with me right now. And so 17-year-old me is like, oh, okay, like you're right. I do love you. Like I should do this.
Yeah.
And it's that coercion and then the intertwining of like love and sex and all the other beautiful threads that led to in my life. But yeah, it was like when I was in experiences, like a lot of the time, honestly, up until it would have been last year, towards the end of last year, every time I said no, like it wasn't listened to. And, you know, sometimes it would be a slow, gentle, like coercion into a yes, but it's still like, I knew that I didn't want to, but by that point I'm like, okay, well, they're not going to listen to it. So I may as well just go along with it and just I can dissociate from this experience.
That happens a lot. Yeah.
It's super common.
Yeah. So I did a video on this recently. You can see on the screen, this one here, how to handle it if a woman says no. And I talked about this. I've had so many female friends and women that I've dated and all of that sort of stuff where they say no and the guy just doesn't really listen to it. He'll like there's so much. You mentioned that you met some like dating coaches and I don't know what they were like, but like, no, actually I do because you fucking said one of them. Here's the word no. And then it's just like, all right, this is a challenge. I'm going to overcome that.
Yeah, not that guy. And it's like, okay, what do you fucking mean?
Yeah. And there's so much of that out there, which is like dating advice for how to overcome a woman's resistance. And it's seen as this like pesky, annoying thing where this dumb bitch is going to sleep with me. She's just being a dumb little girl. Like, stop being an idiot. Just hurry up and have sex. Like, just stop your whining. Come on. Like, we're going to have a good experience. And what I said in the video that I showed on the screen is like, when you hear a word no, just immediately stop and say, okay, you don't want this. What do you want? Let's talk about what you do want. You don't want this. That's cool. But there are going to be some things you want. Like maybe you want to go home. Maybe you want to sit here and talk for a bit. Maybe you want to kiss. Maybe you want me to go down on you. You just don't want to have sex. Maybe you do want to have sex. You just want me to fucking listen to you for all of 5 minutes because you're nervous. Maybe you want me to help you talk through the nervousness because you're fucking scared, because you're not sure about this. You don't know if you're ready yet. You don't know if you're going to get slut shamed, all of that shit. And you just want someone to sit there and be like, okay, like, cool. Like, how are you feeling? Like, what's up? Like, what do you want? And the number of times I've had these conversations with women that like I'm wanting to sleep with, I can see they hesitate or they say like, no, or I don't know if I'm ready yet. And I'll just be like, cool, like, what do you want? And then we sit there and talk for like 10 minutes. And then she goes, fuck it. You know, I actually kind of want to have sex with you. Thank you for listening. And you had like basically that experience, right? So please tell about the guy the first guy in your life that chilled the fuck out when you said, I don't know if I want sex. And he was like, cool, great.
The absolute biggest turn on like ever. I think I'm gonna say like this is probably the most turned on I've ever been by a man in my life. And basically I'd met someone. This is the end of last year, and we'd already been intimate like once, and that was a very like sort of heat of the moment experience, and it'd both been like a period of time for both of us that we hadn't had sex, and we were just like, fuck it, why not? Like I think it was 6 o'clock on a Monday morning. We met for coffee.
Sexiest time for sex, by the way.
And it was like, it was a juicy, like fun experience. I wouldn't say out of this world because like we just met, didn't really know anything about each other. We're just kind of like, fuck it, like why not do it for the plot, and you know. And then we hung out again. I think a couple of days later, and he took me out for dinner. Like we went to the beach, had beautiful conversations, and I actually got to know a little bit more about him, like just bouncing off each other very well, and so much fun. And then we go back to his house, and I'd packed my bag to stay at his place. I had every intention that like this like dinner was gonna lead into intimacy. And we were at his, and we were on the couch making out, and I just remember my body like kind of like contracting just a little bit, and I'm just like, fuck, like I don't think I really feel like this right now. Like I've actually enjoyed my time, I've enjoyed my dinner, and you know, like I think I want to go home. But part of me is like, well, what do you mean? Like you've packed your bag, you're here, like he thinks this is gonna happen, like just be in it. And he and shout out to him, like I feel like he actually must have picked up on my body language, and he stopped and looked me dead in the eyes and was like, and asked me like what is it you want? And
my boy asking the question.
Yeah, he's like, what is it you want? And oh fuck, I just need to go back in time for a second. The first time we were intimate, he asked me the same thing, and I didn't know how to answer him. I actually froze.
A lot of people do not know how to answer the question when I say to them, what do you want? Like women, my coaching clients, like a lot of people just haven't ever been asked the question, what do you want?
Yeah.
They're so used to being pushed, coerced, controlled, people guilt tripping them and saying, you should do this, you have to do this. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes I want to be told what I want. Like it's hot.
Yeah.
But
that is what you want.
It's like, I want you to tell me what I
I want you to
That's
dominate
true.
me.
That is true. That is something
I want you to take the lead right now. Yeah.
And so the first time he asked, I kind of froze and was like, oh, like I'm just, I'm kind of cool with like whatever, just like keep doing what you're doing, and didn't know how to answer it. And it wasn't until in this moment, right, we're on the couch, he stopped and he said like, what do you want right now? And I, part of me was trying to come up with some like hot, sexy thing. And I actually just took a moment to listen to my body and was like, I actually want to go home. Like I like I'm really sorry, but for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not feeling it. And like, can you actually just take me home? And he did. We got in his car and he dropped me home. And I remember like being in bed and just feeling a bit like fuck, like this is weird. Like this feels strange.
Someone listened to me for once.
Yeah, like it's kind of uncomfortable. And I came full circle like the next morning when he messaged me and he checked in and he just said, hey, like I just want to check in and see how you're going. And it's like my whole nervous system went through this massive upgrade and realization of like, fuck, I've never had a man respect my no and then check in and see how I'm feeling. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this is how it feels. And I read the message and I was like, my whole body was like, fuck, like I need to go to his place now and I want him to fucking rail the absolute shit out of me. And yeah, it's like more than anything, like what do I want more than anything in the bedroom is for a man to just listen to me when I say no. Like,
Yeah.
and I had no idea. And it wasn't until I went through that entire experience and was so turned on by this man, like just respecting my no.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and it should really, it's fucking simple. But, you know, at this point in my life, I'm what, like 29 years old, and I'd been intimate with people from the age of 16. So to go through 13 years of intimacy and not have some of my no's, like in the times where I said no, to not have that respected and listened to then, experiencing that and knowing how that felt in my body. And that for me is now like the most important thing. It's like I've been intimate with men like since this man, and, you know, they've asked me, it's like, what do you want? It's like, well, for me, the most important thing is that you listen when I say no.
100%. Yeah. 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 I give a little speech to every woman, like before we have sex, where I'm like, first of all, tell me what you want. But second of all, like, this is only fun if you're having fun. Otherwise, like, how can I enjoy myself if I don't know if you're relaxed? And did I tell you about one of the women that I'm seeing right now, and how she wanted to take it slow, and we ended up being in the bedroom like 4 times before we had sex?
Yeah.
She same shit as you. She'd been through experiences of like guys not really listening and all of that. And like same thing. The first time we were in bed, we kept all our clothes on. We just made, like, I asked her, like, what do you want? She's like, I'd like to kiss. Can we just kiss for an hour? And I was like, sure. I'm going to get really turned on. So if I get really turned on, we might need to take a break, but sure, we can do that. And she told me afterwards, she was like, that was like the hottest sexual experience of my life. And we didn't do anything. We didn't have sex. Like, you didn't touch me anywhere. I touched her on her arms and stuff like that. But she was like, the fact that you let me take it slow, and then, you know, we took it slow over the next like 3 times, making progress each time. It felt like getting closer and closer, a little bit more naked, a little bit this. And then, yeah, by the time we had sex, like, now our sex life is like fucking incredible, because she's like, I can trust you. And she's spoken up a million more times since then. And she'll be like, I don't know if I want to do this today. And I can now just ask her anything or tell her and say like, hey, today we're going to try this thing, or we're going to try anal or something. And she can just say like, is it okay if we don't do that today? I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, what do you want to do? And like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of people think a no is like a deal breaker and everything turns off and it's all shut down. And I think because of that, a lot of women are afraid to speak up and say, I don't know if I want to do this. Because if I say that, he'll get butthurt. Because like, has that been your experience in the past when like guys get butthurt or see it as a challenge, or like, oh fuck, she's rejecting me? Like,
yeah, it's either a challenge or like they get super offended and make it mean so much about them. It's like, take my first partner, for example. It's like, oh, so if you don't want to do it, then obviously you don't love me. Like, that's just, taking things to a whole new level. I think for me as well, like, it's beautiful how you speak into like creating safety for women in the bedroom to actually speak up like that and for what they want. And I also, like, obviously from experience as well, I know not all men are like that or have learned and know how to create that within the bedroom. And I think for me, having like that safety within my own nervous system and doing a lot of the work that I've done and doing breathwork over the years has like given me a solid foundation where I can actually set boundaries and I can say no and stand up for myself, maybe with a man that hasn't like created that safety or actually asked questions or asked what I wanted. I had a I had an experience where I went on a date a few weeks ago and warranted, like, I'm not someone who talks back and forth much on the dating apps. Like, I'm just like, cool, like, you want to meet in person, I need to know
each other properly.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I need to know, like, 1, do I like the sound of your voice? 2, do I like your human smell? I'm like, those are my 2 like telltale signs.
Yeah, you screen for really interesting
when
things.
I
When you first told me that, you were like, the 2 things I need to know is, what does his voice sound like, and does he smell good for me? Like, I need to know his pheromones and his like audible.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never heard a human say that.
Yeah, it's such an interesting one. But when I share it with women, other women are like, you know what? Like, I feel the same way and I've never thought about it. But yeah, anyway, and so I didn't really gauge much into what specifically this guy was after. And I'd been in like a bit of a playful state. I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm open to meeting people and being intimate. And we went out for dinner, and he invited me like back to his place because the restaurant we went to actually closed at like 7:30. I think we'd only been there for like an hour, and it felt like for me it did. It felt like an awkward time to like end things on. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, like I know he has a fire at home. Like we'll just continue the conversation. But my body is just like, you are not going to have sex with this man tonight. Like it just knew. And so I'm like, okay, like I can either just not go at all or I can go and like maybe this is going to be a beautiful opportunity for me to set a boundary. Yeah. And I went and like we're talking and just, out of nowhere, he just made a move and tried to start making out with me. And I sort of pushed him off and was like, hey, just so you know, like, I don't want to have sex with you tonight. And then he was like, okay, cool. So do you just want to make out for a bit? And in my head, I'm like getting these vibes. I'm like,
I don't trust that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people use that as a technique. That's what I mean.
Yeah. 100%.
I'll make out and then she'll get horny and then she'll let me fuck her.
And then she'll want that. And he's like sort of on top of me, like face to face. And I'm like, actually, no. I'm like, I don't feel like that's what I want right now. I was like, I'm really enjoying this conversation with you and spending this time with you. I was like, but I actually don't feel like I want to make out with you. And so then he sits back and I could see that feeling of like rejection because I know what it's like
and
to
feels
experience
like he's failed and like, I'm not going to get laid and all of that. Yeah.
And because I'm like, quite solid in my nervous system now. It's like I could just be in I was literally making eye contact with him, like just witnessing him process this whole thing.
No. Okay, so like for full context, like your job and what you do is like very much there for people's like mental health. So I could imagine you just being like, hey, how are you feeling? Is everything, can I give you something?
Like, are you good?
Yeah. What do you want to talk it out? Like,
Yeah. So, and we ended up spending like maybe like another hour or so together, like cool, speaking, because I'm just like, I do want to get to know him a bit more. And interestingly enough, through that conversation, he sort of brought up like, oh, yeah, like I've had women say no in the past, but usually, so we just make out for a little bit and then it kind of happens. And I'm like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew that's what you wanted
100%, of course,
when you asked me if I just wanted to make out. I'm like, your little shadowy self was showing up there and and so I'm very grateful for being solid enough within myself to be able to set those boundaries now because, it's huge. In the past, I would have just been like, oh, yeah, like I'll make out with you and had a not so great sexual experience.
No, I know, right? And then like afterwards, you kind of like, I don't know if you'd use the word regret. I don't want to speak for you. Like have you had sexual experiences where the guy was like, oh, she's resisting, I'm going to push through it. You have sex and then afterwards you're like, oh, I wish we hadn't done that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So guys, this is my biggest fucking advocation for why we talk about honesty and autistic honesty. Do you want to have a bunch of sex with women that fucking regret it the next day? Like that's what you're working towards half the time. I say this all the time. It's like if you push through the resistance and shit, there's like a not zero chance that one of you or both of you regret it the next day. It's like, great, let's go out there and put more mediocre sex into the world.
Yeah. And it's like speaking from a woman's perspective, like to the men, it's like, it's like, do you want to have an experience with a woman where she's having actual orgasms or do you want an experience where she's faking her orgasms?
I'm so glad you fucking said that. So this is how I get the men to listen as well. Like, rather than just making it about a woman, like, we got to respect the women. It's like, no. I'll speak to the like selfish, like self-focused part of us guys. And I'm like, don't you want her to go and brag about you to her friends and be like, wow, this guy like fucked the shit out of me. He's so good at sex. Like, or do you want her to go to her friends and be like, oh, he was mediocre and I regret it because he just didn't really listen to me. And like the way to be a really good lover, like the way to give mind-blowing sex and mind-blowing orgasms is you got to know what the fuck your partner wants. Otherwise, you are just literally guessing. You're stumbling around in the dark going, well, I hope she wants me to make out with her and have sex. I hope she wants me to push through and do that. Like, you have to guess. So just be autistically honest and be like, what do you want? Like, that's the reason why I say the phrase, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
It's so I can know what you want and then give you that. And then it's not entirely for this, but there's a little part of me that likes the ego stroking from a woman going like, wow, that was the best sex of my life. And I,
100%. We love an ego stroke. I have a praise kink.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah, I have a praise kink too. But like, we can only get there if we ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, if we're like, what do you want? But if I just assume and go, well, I'm just going to push through, then like, I get it wrong half the time.
Yeah. It's like you're going to end up with what, like fake orgasms, dissociative experiences. So it's like, yeah, okay, my body's physically there underneath you, but I'm fucking like out there
in my
somewhere.
own head going like, oh, why did I say yes to this? I wish we could have waited a little bit. Like,
Now's not the time. I'm not feeling it. And
no, exactly that. Can you speak more to that? Like, that's like, guys just have this concept in their head of if a woman is like resisting, you know, you're on the couch making out and she's like being a bit tense and resisting, it must be because she doesn't fucking like me. She thinks I'm ugly, I'm too this, I'm too that. It's not me. It's like, no, maybe she's just not in the emotional state. And I think guys, you don't know what it's like to be a guy.
No.
Any more than I know what it's like to be a woman. Being a guy, like, for the most part, when your testosterone is ready to go and you're horny, nothing else fucking matters. Bro, you're just like ready to go. You don't give a fuck. And like, there's exceptions to that, of course. But like, for the most part, let's say 90% of the time when you're horny, you can just have sex. Whereas for women, it's not always like that. Because the guy is just doing shit. You're just putting your penis in and going to town. For a woman, someone is literally entering your body. And I think that's something that we maybe don't, or a lot of guys don't have reverence for or appreciation of. Like, fuck, she's actually accepting someone inside herself. Like, guys, would you let a guy just like, someone inside your fucking ass? Probably not. If you weren't in the middle, right? Like, so like,
would you let someone penetrate you if you're not in the mood to be penetrated?
Yeah, would you let someone just in your fucking ass? Probably not. You'd be like, whoa, that's my special area. And like, that's what it's like to, like, every act that a woman does involves something going inside her. Like involving the penis.
And it's big. And that, I guess, like, well, sometimes it's not big. No, that kind of relates back to the spiritual side of things and like the womb being sacred, and sex is a big like energetical exchange. And, you know, it's something I've only learned to understand in the last few years. So yeah, it's like if I'm not fully in the mood or my body's not feeling like it, or for whatever reason my mind is like, actually, like, you know, like sex isn't the thing that I want to do right now, then I don't know where I was going with this conversation.
Like, you can't just like force yourself to make it happen, or you can, but then like, do you really want a bunch of mediocre experiences? Yeah,
like it's not going to be a great experience. And the third thing on top of that, it's like I said, it's like fake orgasms, like a woman dissociating, or from my own personal experience, like just trying so hard to get the man to come so it can be over.
Dude, yeah, like rushing through it so it can be done.
Yeah. Like if you're only a few minutes in and the woman is like, oh, like, are you going to come for me? Are you going to come for me? Like, odds are she probably...
And you're like, bitch, I haven't taken my jeans off.
She probably doesn't want to be in that experience.
Yeah, and to be clear, none of this involves mind reading. That's literally the point that we're trying to make.
Yeah.
It's just asking, like, do you want to do this? Like, do you want to fuck? You can just be that honest. Do you want to fuck tonight, or do you want to wait till next time? Like, that is my question that I ask everybody.
Do you want to take your clothes off or not?
Yeah, literally on the first day or before the first day, I would say like, hey, like, you know, we can meet, we can have a coffee, and then here's roughly what I'm thinking. Here's my game plan. What do you think about that? And then she'll let me know yes or no. And then on the day, I can say like, hey, look, like, because sometimes plans will change. And the way I usually say it is like if I want to have sex with someone, I will say like, I am so unbelievably into you right now. Like, I want to fuck you. What do you want though? Like, if you don't want to, no pressure. Like, we can just keep hanging out. And then I don't say anything and just shut the fuck up and let her give me an answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can see they'll sit there and go like, and like hesitate because like they're trying to figure it out. And then I'll say, like, you don't have to. Like, we don't have to have sex. We can just do it next time or the time after or never.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. And just like giving that space lets people sit there and figure it out, because sometimes people don't know.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes a woman doesn't fucking know. She's trying to figure it out. And then you can help.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally help and be like, okay, well, like, how are you feeling? And she's like, well, I like you, but like, is it too soon? And you can be like, well, I don't know. Like, if it's too soon, then we can just wait till next time. Who's going to judge you for it being too soon? I promise we can go slow. We can stop halfway through if you want. Like, we can just make out and cuddle and see how you feel. Like, yeah, there's all these conversations that can be had, but I think a lot of men and women try and mind read when it comes to sex. Like, I have to know, like, I want to make this fucking clear. Let's make this clear. Nothing we have said here today is us saying men should just mind read women. That's how people will take it. They'll take conversations.
Don't do that.
It's like, no, that's literally the opposite of what we're saying. We're saying be autistically honest and say, like, I want to fuck you. What do you want? Like, you can literally just say that sentence.
Yeah, it's like,
I want to have sex with you, but like, how are you feeling? What do you want to do?
100%. It's like, I'm so open to men, like, telling me what they want. Like, I want to know, but at the same time also ask me
then
as
give
well.
The space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was definitely something like you were so great with your communication, like definitely having conversations with you and stuff before we met. I was like, fuck, like this is like a whole new level of
'Cause
a
do you want to give
man
context there? Like how
communicating.
we met?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we met on Hinge and we were going to go on. Well,
No,
we
it
did
was
go on a date.
Tinder. It was
Whatever.
Tinder.
Fuck, it's the same.
It's not the same thing.
Okay, fine. It's a different name and the color scheme is different. We met on the dating app.
Yeah.
We went on a date and we were like, let's be fucking friends. But from the very beginning, yeah, I was like extremely open and honest with you.
Yeah.
I was like, here's what I like to do. I date multiple people. I'm into BDSM and kink. Here's how it usually goes. Didn't I record your voice? Because you asked at some point, you were like, I recorded you multiple voice messages because you went away for a week.
Yeah, I was in
You
Melbourne.
were on a holiday, yeah. And didn't I record you a voice message and basically say, here's what I usually do for BDSM like the first time with someone? Because I do that for most people I meet.
Yeah.
I'll record a little voice message and be like, hey, like if you're nervous, here's roughly what it looks like the first time. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. But we can do whatever you want. Like it, no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me like multiple voice clips and you were just saying things and it was yeah, definitely a whole new experience. And you as well, here's the other thing, right? It's like when one person decides that they're going to be honest about things, it feels like such a permission slip for me to then be honest about how I feel. Like you were being honest and I'm like, okay, great. Like I want to be honest with you now. Like I'm so curious about this and I want to explore. I was like, also like I'm very fucking shy and awkward sometimes. So there's that. But it doesn't always mean that I don't want to. It just means that sometimes I take a little bit of like warming up or like time to get comfortable with someone.
Yeah. And you can like, I call it autistic honesty because that's the word that resonates the most with people. Like you're almost like breaking social norms.
Yeah.
Which is why I love the word autism so much. It's like, fuck social norms. Fuck like what's politically correct. Fuck like, how do I phrase this in a smooth way? It's like, just be autistic, dude.
Yeah.
Like just
actually say it how it fucking is.
Yeah, I want to have sex with you. And like, this is what I encourage all the audience to do. And we have a few coaching clients in the program right now who are like this. Like we have one guy that's just walking up to girls and he's like, hi, how honest can I be with you? And they're like, really honest. And he's like, I find you really sexy. And they're like, wow, okay, thank you. And then he's like, can I keep being more honest? And they're like, okay. And he's like, I like your butt. It's really hot. And she's like, wow, thank you. I go to the gym and like, she's just like, I want to hook up with you. Like, do you want to grab a drink and do that? Or like, and some of them are like, yes. And so he's just had sex like that.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm sure you can imagine like, well, I'm looking for a boyfriend. He's like, cool, I hope you find it. Like, that's cool. And then he just goes and talks to the next person. Like, you can be that ridiculously upfront and honest. And why wouldn't you be? Because it saves you time.
Yeah. It's like, be fucking honest and then, you know, don't make someone's response mean something about you or do. Like, if you want to, like, that's fucking your choice, but it's actually not the other person's responsibility. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, there was one random thing on like honesty. I think I was like out somewhere and I had a man say to me like, oh, like how honest can I be with you right now? And like, this is me, right? I'm like, fucking, like, I don't care, say whatever. Like, absolutely no judgment, like free space, like tell me what you want to tell me. And then he just looks at me and is like, nah, I think I need another beer before I do that. And then like walked off and then I never saw him again for the rest of the night.
Oh, maybe that was someone from our audience. Could you imagine like one of you guys would just like, all right, I'm going to try this honesty thing that Andy's walking up. All right, can I be honest? And then they're like, no, I can't fucking do
And
this.
I'm
Like,
such like a
that was cool of him to work up the courage, but then he was like, he was about to jump off the cliff and have that little moment of like,
it's almost there. And you know what? I never found out what he had to say.
Probably would have just hit on you and said like, you're hot.
Yeah, maybe.
What else was he going to say? Like, hey, can I be honest with you? I like Care Bears. Like,
yeah, I think from my like own perception, I feel like he was going to hit on me and anticipated that we were going to go home together, and that's not what I wanted. And funny thing is, he'd already spoken to my other friend and like asked her, and my friend had said like, hey, like, just so you know, like, I'm not sure that's what she's thinking or wanting.
Just so you're knowing, she's like a super spiritual girl now, and she's not into that gross sex.
And she doesn't do sex.
Sex is disgusting.
Yeah. So then I think part of him already knew that I was potentially going to say no, and maybe he didn't want to have to deal with that. So he's like, oh, it's just easier if I'm just not honest and don't say anything and then just don't do it.
So what you just said there, I call that playing not to lose. Where you're like, I don't want to lose, and so I'm going to do everything I can to avoid losing. So I won't even hit on someone because I cannot stand the word no, and it will break my fucking heart, so I just won't even try. And like people have this huge aversion to the word no. Like I said, like if you say to a woman, I want to have sex with you tonight, but like, what do you want? And she's like, oh, I don't know if I want that tonight. Most people go, fuck, it's all over, game over. I failed. I'm never going to meet the woman of my dreams. I'm a loser. I knew I was a loser. I shouldn't even have any friends. I'm just going to go home and cry into my video games and eat my corn chips and fucking get fat. Like literally. And it's like, she just said no to that thing right now. First of all, that doesn't mean no in the future.
Yeah.
It just means no right now.
Exactly.
And the only way you know that is by asking. You can literally just say, well, I want to have sex with you eventually. Like, do you know how you feel? Like, do you want to do it next time? Are you not sure? Like half the time the answer you get is like, oh no, I want to fuck you. I just don't want to do it tonight. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Like you guys, you can get the reassurance that you're asking for. Just fucking ask for it instead of trying like this secret back way.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, do you want to have sex with me at all at some point? Or are you not sure yet?
Yeah.
Half
It's like
the time.
ask, oh my God, that's such a great question. And it's like, but I say no to someone, like, by all means, like ask me, is that okay, cool? Like, do you think
Like
it's
how
something
you
you're
feel.
gonna want?
Yeah. Do you think you want this in future? Because this is what I get my coaching clients to do, and
Yeah.
everyone in the audience. Guys, some of you are really fucking certain that you want sex. You're horny little boys. Just say that to her. Say like, okay, well, sex is something that I'm looking for. It's important to me. It's what I want. Do you think you'll ever want it in the future? Or are you like, you're not sure? Like, you can even ask for timelines. You can say, I like to have sex on the first or second date. How long do you usually wait before you have sex? And they'll go, well, like sometimes I've had it on the second date. Sometimes I like to wait 5 dates. And then you can communicate. You could be like, well, I don't want to wait 5 dates. Would you be willing to like go on a couple of dates? You can fucking talk. Like you're both on the same team, right? But people treat it like I have to get this thing from her. And then she's thinking I have to either resist this thing from him or I have to get what I want from him. It's like, why can't you guys just talk about it? Use your fucking words like adults.
God, we make things so difficult.
Right? It's
sometimes.
like this whole fucking dance and game of like, I want her, but I can't show her that I want. And she's like, I want him, but I can't let him have it too quickly. And it's like, why can't you guys just be autistic and be like, I want to fuck, do you?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, not right now, but like maybe next time. Okay, cool. Like, what do you want to do tonight then?
Yeah.
Do you want to go out to have a drink and chill?
Do something fun.
Yeah, and then next week we can fuck. Like, you save so much time and energy.
It's like, or if the answer is no, then how fucking great. You get to find someone else to fuck.
Dude, this is what I mean. So many people are so terrified of the word no. They're like, it will say all these things about me. It'll mean I'm a loser. It'll mean all of this. It's like,
I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
loves me. All the juicy core wounds that
yeah,
come up.
all the trauma and the stories and the narratives that you were just waiting for them to, like you were hungry for that no. You were fucking desperate for that no. Like, please fucking break my heart. Like literally, please fucking just bring up my wounds.
Yeah.
Like people go around like
Part of us
basically
loves it.
Yeah. No, right. You and I have talked about that.
I'm
like,
fucking
yeah.
Yeah, it's like rub salt in my wounds, please. Like I just
Yeah,
love
please.
how it feels.
Please tell me that I'm an ugly piece of shit who's too old and too bald and no one will ever like me. And she's like, whoa, man, I didn't say shit. I didn't say any of that. I just said I don't want to fuck you tonight, but I'll fuck you next time.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's because I'm ugly, isn't it? And she's like, no, it's not that. And then he walks away going, another one rejected me. Another bitch just told me I'm ugly. And
That's
she's like, hey, wait, I didn't say that.
No one loves me. I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life and I'm gonna die.
Yeah, die alone. And it will always be like that. And she's like, I did not consent to any of this conversation. I literally didn't say that. I just had a big day at work and I wanted to chill with you for 30 minutes and then you could fuck me. But you were so desperate to get the dick in there immediately that like you fucked up the chance, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like the number of guys. So a lot of this fear of like this desperation of I got to get my dick in her immediately. Otherwise, I've heard guys say this, I'll lose her. I'll lose the girl. I'll lose it. And it's like, bro, your desperation is like, not that you lose anyone, but making you lose her. Like if you just chilled the fuck out for 30 minutes.
That's not a thing. And like men as well. Well, I'm obviously not going to speak for all women, but like I feel like a good number of us, and me included, like we like the game. We like a little bit of
Like the seduction.
a chase. Yeah. So it's like, it's not a case of, when the men say, if I don't get it now, then I'm never going to get it. It's like,
I would rephrase what you just said because I think a lot of people will be confused. Will see that as like, oh, fuck, so I have to play games with women. It's like, rather than using the word game or chase, I would rephrase it as this, foreplay.
yes.
Because I want some foreplay. I want a little making out. I want us to get to know
foreplay.
each other. I want to feel safe. I want to feel comfortable. Yeah.
Anticipation,
Yeah.
And it's like, it's definitely not a case of like, if we don't do it right now, it's it's a never
It's a
thing
no
and you're never
forever,
going to get
yeah.
us.
And so you're there, like so many women are there, like guys, you've probably broken a lot of girls' hearts. Girls are like, oh, I just want a little foreplay. I just want to make out for like an hour and then I'll be ready for sex. And so, you know, he makes a move, he just launches himself at you, just attacks you, which is like most guys, how they initiate sex. It's like attack her. And she's like, fuck, what the shit,
I'm like,
bro?
too much.
Yeah, dude.
Get
just
out of
like,
my
fuck.
face.
That's why I tell guys, just say like, can I kiss you? Like, just, you're fucking hot, can I kiss you? There you go.
Yeah.
So she's like freaking out. And in her mind, she's like, fuck, I just want some more foreplay. And he's like, it's over. It's all over. She hates me. She rejected me. And then sends her home. And she's like, well, now I'm fucking horny. I'm like, I wanted to have sex, but he just threw a tantrum because he launched himself at me and I freaked the fuck out because I wasn't ready for it in that moment. And then he got butthurt and kicked me out. Like, collectively, how many billions of women do you think have been disappointed over the last, like, 3,000 years? Because the guy just didn't say, like, oh, you don't want to fuck right now. Like, do you want to fuck? Do you want to make out for a bit and then fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't just ask.
He couldn't get curious. He just...
Yeah. He took it as a rejection. And none of that is to blame, guys. Like,
No.
I did all this shit.
We all have that part in us.
Yeah, and we don't know any better. No one sits us down and says, like, she's not rejecting you permanently forever. She's just not ready to fuck right now. Ask her, when do you want to fuck? Like, no one, they didn't teach us that in school. They didn't teach us anything.
God, I don't think
they didn't teach us how to do a blowjob.
Anything in sex
They didn't
education.
teach us how to finger someone. We had to read that in Cosmo.
Didn't tell us to ask for what we wanted or...
Dude, no, the opposite. They tell us like half of what we want is bad and wrong.
Yeah. Or tell us how to deal with coercion either. Never learned
fuck.
that.
No, dude. Yeah, no. Imagine if like any of these conversations.
Yeah, things are bad and wrong.
Sex is bad and wrong. Guys, you're bad for having a sexual urge. Even like the way consent is usually talked about. And I've tried in this video to not like guilt trip guys. I hope it doesn't come across as that. But like a lot of the way consent is done is, and a lot of women will say this, they're like, guys, you just need to listen to her no, and you're a bad person and don't push through, and like you need to respect women. And guys go like, but what about me? Like, what about what I want? And so I always say both people respect each other. So guys, if you're sitting there and you want to have sex with someone and she says like, no, if you feel fucking hurt and all of that, don't just sit there and have a 2-hour-long conversation and the whole time you're feeling resentment and you're like, I want to fuck her, but she just wants to talk. And now I'm sitting here in my own little bubble in pain. Speak up and be like, well, look, I'll be honest. I really want to fuck you. I don't know that I want to just sit here and have a conversation for the next like 2 hours, knowing that I really want that. Like, can we talk about this before we move on?
Yeah.
Can we talk about what I want and how I'm feeling? I want to talk about how you're feeling and what you want. See if we can figure it out together.
Yeah.
And maybe that means we end the date right now and then we have a second date and we have sex. Or like, can we just at least acknowledge that I'm fucking horny and I have blue balls right now? Like, acknowledge that part of you. Don't just neglect that too. Like, none of this is saying like, ignore men or men ignore yourself and just give the woman what she wants. You're two people. Like, you have feelings, you have insecurities, you have doubts.
Yeah, it's not about like pushing past someone's no per se. It's just being
Yeah.
honest
No.
about where you're at and how you're feeling. And I think that's so important. And it's like you're doing yourself and the other person a disservice if you're not being honest and you're sitting there in conversation for 2 hours, but actually you're not really fucking even listening because
You
you're
wanna
just
fuck
thinking
her
about
and-
how much you want to fuck and, you know, you checked out. So
Yeah. It's like, we're not saying swing the pendulum back in the other direction so much that you're like, okay, fuck, I have to like listen to a woman's no and then I'm going to ignore my own no. Like, you might have a no to having a conversation for the next 2 hours. You might be like, okay, well, I want to go home. Or maybe she doesn't want to have sex, or she wants to wait till, I don't know, 5 dates to have sex. But maybe you don't want to wait that long. You want to have sex by the 3rd date. You don't really feel like going on 5 dates without any sexual contact. Fair enough. That's your no. Speak up and say, hey, this isn't what I want.
Yeah.
Can we either meet in the middle somewhere? Or can I tell you why I want to have sex on the 3rd date? And you can tell me why you want to wait till the 5th date. And then we can see if there's like, not negotiation, but like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Like,
just see how it feels for
understanding,
for both
understand
of us.
each other,
Yeah.
and figure out. And if we're not compatible, then we go separate ways. Like, none of this is just saying like, guys, you have to always listen to women and fuck what you want, guys. You're all horny and you need to stop and you need to respect women because they're queens. It's like, guys, you're queens too.
Actually just have more conversations.
Yeah, just fucking talk and be autistic. That's all we've done here today. We just had an autistic conversation. Anything else you want to add before we finish up?
No, I don't think so. I feel like we covered a lot. We covered like sex, shame, nervous system, boundaries, no, respecting no, having more open conversations about what you want. Yeah.
Practicing blowjobs on deodorant cans.
Yes. impulse to people.
That's how I learned.